Hi. Chip Scott is dead. Okay. I'm just gonna cut straight to it. Um, Fascism wasn't on the ballot. Fascism is here. We are in a fascist state. We've been in a fascist state. Obama's a fascist. Biden's a fascist. All of this shit is fascism. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let me address. I would say I'm gonna have to address four things to just off dribble. One, please understand, as a United States citizen, to be able to have the place of stating, we could take a deep breath and then just like grieve off to the side and then just go back and just go forth and to state things like, at the end of the day, Jesus is king. To use politics as a means to separate from each other is just, you know? And to state, oh, well, it doesn't really matter to me at the end of the day. Like, that shit doesn't really affect my life at the end of the day, right? That is from a place of privilege. Please note, so many countries are about to get taken off of the map. Don't believe me? Did you see Netanyahu just erase Gaza? Like, the nigga just, like, and motherfuckers like, yo, you committed genocide? And bro said, and? And the reason why he feels so emboldened to move like that is because of the United States. If you notice, any dictator or any person that is on crash out mode always gets to talking reckless when they have the U.S. backing them, because they're backed by the U.S. Let's talk about it. We are a fascist state. We're ran by like 4 fucking companies, and they use their money to wage war and pillage resources from smaller countries that don't have the military backing that we do. We pretty much just played a big ass game of Monopoly. We got that piece, that piece, that piece of land, that piece of land, that piece of land, that piece of land. But there's only but so much conquering you can specifically do. So you have to start convincing other countries that you have under your rule to produce the same shit you do, so that way you can efficiently run. The end game and goal is to turn each of the countries that are within trade regards with the US into small military, it's not small, but just like military based countries that serve the bidding of the US, that they can go in and tap into and give them access to certain resources, not all the sauce, not all the drip, but just enough of the drip to wage war really on just the niggas they really don't like Russia and China, right? Because China's cooking them inside of the trade war. Because, by the way, we were inside of a war during the Trump administration. It was a trade war. I don't know what people know what trade wars are, but pretty much it's just countries being like, hey, my nigga, we just about to make it hella hard for you to fucking make money and get items, which are going to affect your citizens. So instead of us going over there and just dropping atomic bomb on your most densely populated area to prove a point, instead, we're just gonna make their fucking milk $17 because your citizens need to drink milk. Oh shit, do they need to get reconstructive things to build pipes and fix pipelines? Well, guess what? It's 200% more expensive. Good luck buying it, my nigga. It's not happening. Like that's what that is. You know, the reason why Venezuela was about to give away their precious sweet oil. Okay, so now that we've gotten that out of the way and understand that that's from a place of privilege and that a multitude of black and brown people are going to die, and it is just a worldwide expansion of the slavery strat of, yo, what if we just codified laws and rationalize the extermination of communities for financial benefit of a few niggas under the guise of these people that don't look like you are bad. Or these people don't look like you. You shouldn't even really care about what's going on over there. They just got a bunch of shit happening. So let me do a spoiler alert, right? Now, I am certain that this take, and I mean this with the utmost confidence, I have a feeling this shit is probably, I don't know how it's going to age, but I feel like it's going to age pretty decent. Trump has talked about bombing the cartel. Now, the cartel makes all of its money off of the United States. This is an admitted thing by the CIA. They worked in cahoots with the cartel to get drugs into the United States, specifically into marginalized communities, because it started out in marginalized communities, but now look where it spread it. The Bible Belt, the middle of fucking America. Have you seen some of the most economically disparaged places in America? No, it's not Atlanta, Georgia. No, it's not Chirac. It's some random fucking place in Iowa. All those fucking industrial, like, factory states, we stopped factorying. Which is why the concept of tariffing other countries on imports in order to bolster up this idea that we're just magically gonna start building shit more efficiently is just a psyop to get y'all niggas to activate the coon chips. Like, no, let me stop. They're activating the Jason Bourne chip. Oh my gosh, they're gonna... I mean, I guess I gotta vote for this nigga, bro. They're just about to build a bunch of fucking AI new, like, farms. And because they can't get away with it over here, they're gonna wipe out random lands. They're gonna spin a wheel and they're gonna be like, look, do y'all care if we wipe these niggas out? And if nobody gives them traction, they're gonna wipe them out. And if niggas give them traction, they're gonna find a way to spin it. But they're gonna continue to wipe them out. I want you guys to understand this. Nothing is going to stop them unless, quite literally, you beat their ass. That's the vibes. You gonna have to fuck them up, and you're not. So they gonna keep walking motherfuckers down. How much time I got on this thing? Yeah, I'm 7 minutes deep. Let's go. But yeah, the take that I was gonna state was Trump has talked about bombing the cartel. No, he's not gonna bomb the cartel. What he's gonna do is what the America has been doing. Taking the money that they have been putting towards building the wall that hasn't been finished this whole time, that Mexico is definitely not going to pay for. They've been using that money and putting it towards the cartel. They're money laundering. They codified it by weaponizing the identity of migrant Mexicans. But see, the thing is, you can't outright state, look, y'all, we're trying to wipe Mexico off of the face of fucking earth because it's right there. And Russia and China are starting to get a little too tapped and tied in with all those Southern American countries that we've had under our fucking boot. Whether it be through via having a puppet that promotes privatized business over their actual citizens, or just literally they can't do shit because they're getting tariffed out of the fucking ass. This is the reason why you saw clips of Venezuelans taking their money and literally just putting boatloads in the fucking garbage can because their money is worth nothing because America has tariffed these niggas out of the moon. But nobody cares because they don't look like white folks. And when you can weaponize the identities of people, you can codify whatever the fuck you want to them. Killing a person is inherently bad. Killing a rapist, though. Killing a child molester, right? Now, what if we start changing the identity and the parallels? You feel me? We can't just outright state we trying to codify the Americas to like pass some LGBTQIA laws. So we gotta call them commies. Oh, we can't tell motherfuckers that we really just trying to control the working class and take their money and force them to work for nothing. So how do you get away with it? You tell them you're trying to stifle black people. But then, those laws, that's the trickle-down economics that Reagan was getting at. It trickles down by literally suffocating the most smallest communities. And yes, us marginalized communities are gonna crash out because we've been seeing the exact same fucking dystopian episode for decades now, being told about the same exact dystopian fucking episodes from our relatives, right? But it's a lot. I know I'm going all over the place right now because that's kind of the point of trying to keep track of American bullshit. There's just so much overstimulation. It's hard to keep up with. And it's genuinely sad for real. Like, it really is sad. My take is Trump's gonna weaponize the concept of cartels that are directly funded by the United States government to blow Mexico off of the map. To take those exact migrants that he's talking about mass deporting and just putting these niggas on, like, Amazon factory land. Or whomever big business decides to run amok inside of a certain district. That's all that is. They can't. And then we're gonna pay for it. And then they're gonna take our money and then they're gonna flip our money by waging war. And while that shit's occurring, the motherfuckers that are gonna vote for that are gonna be the people that are like, yo, but like if you peep, the cartel is going crazy. Somebody's gotta intervene. Yeah, it's almost as if you give a bunch of people guns that don't really fuck with anybody, they're not gonna really fuck with anybody. Ask yourself, where are they getting the guns from? Who's making the guns? Who's selling them the guns? Who's giving them the money for the drugs? Did you know that most of the illegal drugs pass into America from legal citizens? Almost all the drugs that are illegal on the street are brought in over the border. When they are brought in over the border, when they're not already directly manufactured by a fucking medical company, let's talk about it. It's US citizens that are bringing it over. But they're the ones getting kerosene bathed. 40 years into the 1900s, my nigga. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you have people inside your family born 1950 plus, they lived through migrant Mexicans getting kerosene bathed. So when you see your 67-year-old uncle inside of that hyperbolic echo chamber of far-right propaganda telling you these Mexicans do need to get deported because we do have a border crisis, just know it started there. This is years in the making. They pick a marginalized community, they pass what they believe will be the most allowed lowest bar of fucking up, and then they build upon that said thing. But they plant the seeds by passing these laws. So cool, bro. Cool. Awesome. Congratulations. You're celebrating because you felt like you've done something because they told you you've done something. But in actuality, they handed you an empty controller the same way they hand marginalized communities empty controllers. Because if you can give a poor white man someone to spit on, they'll empty their pockets for you. They got y'all. They got y'all niggas. I'm not even addressing the black folks that voted for Donald. Like, and to the motherfuckers that are like, oh, well, like, Kamala. Like, they got us. They got us. Yeah, I voted for Kamala, begrudgingly. It was like, I kind of think abortion needs to be codified. Voting was a single issue right now. So you'd be shocked. There's a lot of niggas that don't agree with abortion. And why is that? Oh, well, the colonialism, psyop, Christianity, BS, bro. Like, y'all do realize they took over the church, right? The church is not the actual church. It's just privatized corporations weaponizing rich middle class people to fund their escapades. They created a population that feeds off of at floor level not understanding or getting any other human being outside of their perspective bubble. And at any moment's notice, they could scare them into enacting this. We keep on spinning back to the exact same stuff because it's the exact same stuff. They're just re-rocking it. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about Fed cut rates. We could talk about taxes. The sad truth is, bro, you're right. 4 months from now, you're going to continue to wake up well past the Donald Trump inauguration. You're going to wake up, you're going to go to work, you're going to exist, and you're going to live your life. And it is going to continue on in the exact same shitty way that it has been during the Biden administration. So many people are going to die in that time frame. And they're going to use their deaths as a means to codify some fuck shit that they're going to bring over here and be like, hey, y'all. See, we trying to tell y'all, man, these migrants, we got too many of them. It's a border crisis. Look how many Haitians we have. Look how many Sudanese we have. Look how many da-da-da-da-da we have. Have you noticed that most of the specific refugees and migrants that we have come from economically disparaged places that are directly economically disparaged by the United States? It's almost as if they were planning to recreate this slavery thing. Because they were. They just realized that it would just be way more profitable to put more than just niggas on that plantation. And they realized they can't have an exact plantation. They can't. So you gotta codify it to something different. I don't know. A warehouse. Oh, I just built consumer goods. And the few select niggas that are gonna come up off of these AI factories that are gonna be built, cool, bro. Your grandkids, when they switch the strats over from those said things, those communities are going to get disparaged the exact same way those exact communities got disparaged during the fucking Industrial Revolution. Because it is a money flip. They're money flipping. It is no different than a drug dealer. They're hitting a play. We're the play. We're the commodity. We're the Zaza. And don't let Trump decriminalizing weed in America probably halfway through his jank when it starts coming out about how whoa, why are we dropping bombs on Mexico? Why are we beefing? Nigga, wasn't Venezuela just going through it? Wait a minute, why are we staging another coup? We're not gonna call it a coup, but that's what it is. A coup. Wait a minute, why is the... Hold on. Turkey killed 4,000 civilians with a pager bomb. Because the motherfuckers inside of the terrorist group that, funny enough, gained traction inside of that community by fighting, are you ready for this? Al-Qaeda. They got Al-Qaeda out of the area. Wait a minute. You were told Al-Qaeda's bad because in America, terror is bad. Al-Qaeda bad. Al-Qaeda's funded by the US. We have articles gassing up Osama bin Laden the same way there's articles of that one German man gassing up how cool America is stifling black folks. And then he stole his steez from America. It was like, yo, they laid the groundwork. That one German man was talking about the United States hegemony the same way Michael fucking Jordan talks about Kobe Bryant. Think about how sinister that is. Think about, that is the last person you want to get big ups from. If somebody of that magnitude was to come up to me and be like, hey bro, you really doing your jam. I like what you're doing. I'm gonna have to get like you. I would check into a mental health institution because clearly I'm demented. But that's for people that touch grass that think that way, right? Rich people are separated from this. There is no emotional connection to it. It is profit, it is margins. So when they mass deport Hispanics, Haitians, and then create an entire pipeline system where they allow, because this is what's gonna happen, bro. They're setting up these states so that way they can transfer human beings over to these different countries and bring them over here or bring them over to whomever is gonna codify enough of the slavery, right? And then they're gonna build dystopian cities. You know the memes of like the, oh yeah, if so-and-so would have did so-and-so. Like what today would look like if so-and-so didn't so-and-so. Yeah, that's how that gets built. Free labor. You can't pay for it. Or you just pay them as low wages as possible. And when you can rationalize codifying, not allowing people to make a certain threshold because, oh, well, we're going to have to pay more taxes. Why the fuck are you going to have to pay more taxes? Why do you have to pay more taxes if motherfuckers is making more money? Oh, well, more money has to go to the state. Why does more money have to go to the state? Oh, because they're doing stuff. What are they doing with the money? Nothing for you. There's motherfuckers right now that are legally not allowed to vote that still have to pay taxes because they're either a convicted felon or they're a migrant. And because we have rationalized this concept of a secondary citizen, we can build cages in displaced families and state it's all in the name of trying to control the border crisis, because it's a crisis. Notice the adjectives. I challenge people that instead of beefing with like the specific Trump supporters that are very, very, very obviously hateful, they like it's like, yes, there are Trump supporters out there that genuinely hate women. We know this. There's a lot of men that hate women. We know this. That doesn't stop it from being equivalently as crazy, but they're allowed to exist not just because there's working class Americans that just so happen to be inside of community with these said bigots that coddle them, but it's just financially beneficial for the US government to play into their hopes. The same way it's beneficial for them to play into the Democratic, like, shits. Oh, well, vote for Kamala. She'll codify abortion, hopefully. Maybe. Possibly. Potentially. Oh, wait, the Democrats have had the opportunity to do that for the past 12 years, and all we could get is legalized gay marriage. Oh, well, that's a big step, you guys. You don't understand how far we've come. What do you mean? Far we've come? Throughout that entire time frame, they have passed and codified law. And then here's the other thing, too. They can just unplug that shit, too. Because that's the whole point. They give you the shit, they let you see it, and then they unplug it. There was a time frame where Section 8 housing was beautiful because it was meant for working class white people. Then, in order to save money, they codified it towards being poor black people and the concept of property value decreasing when black people come in. But you can't say that anymore. So now you got to start switching it. It's like, oh, well, it's not just black people. It's these gangsters. Well, who are gangsters? Oh, well, we really don't even have a border issue. It's just these Mexicans that are in the cartel. Look at them pull civilians out of their cars in the streets with the guns that were given to them by the United States government. I think we need to send the United States government over there to kill them, to save the Mexican citizens, because the Mexican government can't handle it or control it. This is just simply them getting back at Mexico for being like, yo, y'all niggas is weird. Because that's what it is. The Mexican president has already been like, hey, bro, we not paying for no fucking wall. And calm that shit down. All that goddamn yapping. Most countries are starting to stand up to America's bullshit. Niggas is getting tired of it. Like I just got done stating, most European countries had a Trump-like figure on their ballot because privatized corporations run the Western world. Let me be specific. American corporations run Western world. And even their citizens are like, y'all ain't propagate us enough, little bro. We not going for that shit. We've seen this episode before. Y'all kind of tweaking, chat. I just hope that we could just find a way to start applying pressure to these companies and calling these companies out for the shit and the bullshit that they have been doing and that they have been funding through other companies to scapegoat themselves. But I feel as though that we're going to continue to persist on bullying each other over like identity politics, which I, for one, believe are important. But when we sitting up here talking about in the car where the fuck we're supposed to be going as opposed to actually moving the vehicle, we're not gonna go anywhere. They knew this. This is where the concept of the house divided can't stand amongst itself. They know this. That's the plan, to keep us divided. I'm not saying you need to go over there and become friends with that bigot. What I'm saying is that bigot is going to be a bigot. That nigga hates women. He don't go outside. He don't wash under his foreskin. Let that nigga sit in his room, be stinky as shit, post on fucking Twitter. Don't engage with that dude. We need to go outside. We need to start like conversing. We need to start putting people in political power that are representative to our best interests. And funny enough, when that starts happening, you're gonna start seeing the quiet part. being stated out loud. Oh, they killing niggas in the street? Oh, wait, we got, whoa, when we get tanks? Whoa, we got a bill that states that we can just, the US government could just enact military force on civilians if enacted? Whoa, the CIA manufactures chaos? And they told us about it? They're just getting that. They are ahead of the curve. They told us what they would like for us to know. So they already know what we're planning on doing before we do it because they coded it in us. We're the Jason Bourne experiments. Where they're like, oh yeah, you know that the spies that you say the word and then they jump? Yeah, the word is migrant Mexicans, niggas, LGBTQIA, lesbians, gays, trans, women. You get double points if you can layer them. And it's worked. It's effective. Blame the Spanish Inquisition. Blame England. But here we are. We're in 2024. And by the time I have kids in 2035 or 2036, if I have kids, unless I'm up, they probably won't ever have enough money to live by themselves. That would be an unrealistic concept. And now I challenge you to think to yourselves, what could they possibly codify in that time frame with a population that desperate? Because we gotten to this point off of desperation and fear that's manufactured by the US government. I can only imagine what the fuck we're gonna do. 32 minutes? Yeah, so I'm gonna just also get this out the way. Some spoiler alerts. So the next election rounds, the Democrats, will be running on a very, very, very far right regime, policy platform, because that's gonna be the winning platform. You have to evangelize, because most of those people that are voting Republican 4 years from now, they're not gonna have any money. The stock market is gonna be up. Niggas is gonna be broke still. They're gonna be like, yo, Republicans had the Senate, Republicans had the House. What happened? Then when you start looking, you realize that they were codifying a bunch of stuff to make it possible for the actual dictator. Trump's not the final endgame boss. I wouldn't even say he's the final. I'll say he's the final endgame boss in the concept of what we conceive of what fascism is. They keep updating it, bro. There's going to be a way worse supervillain. I don't even know if it's going to be J.D. Vance. I don't know who it's going to be. Give it 15 years, we're going to have a dictator. Give it 15 years, we are going to have a solidified, multi-year dictator with a privatized group that nobody can identify going through running an amok inside of each United State. When need be, at the whim of a finger snap. And it's going to be codified through hatred towards LGBTQIA, women, and black folks. And poor people. Because that's what they're meaning. When they switch these words around, they're talking about these specific communities. But the goal is to specifically make people that are not actively poor, so that way they can get rich, and then make poor people even poorer, so that way they not rich. They get even more rich. They're double dipping. Look at it. Yeah, they've re-rocked. They've gotten here. We're here. I feel bad but it's like I don't really know what I personally, me as a black 23-year-old man in California, would be able to like realistically stop, like just by myself. Um, yeah, but the moral of the story is, y'all, fascism was on the ballot during the slavery like during the slavery era, bro. They decided fascism was the way. And now here we are. I don't think we're all gonna die immediately. But shit, my fucking brain hurts. My literal noggin hurts. We've been doing this, ain't like all I can say is lock in, and if any possible way you can move out of a Western country, go ahead and do that. Probably not now, or maybe now. Maybe today is a good time. Do what you want, TBH. Privatized corporations are kind of just like emoting on us at this point. So much so that they can bring a candidate into office that openly supports a genocide. So much so to the point where it's not even a deter factor. At most, it will just stop niggas from wanting to vote, which is what they wanted in the first place. Because that's how Republicans win, by the way, is by people not going out and voting. The rich just quite literally weaponized our own system against us because it can be weaponized. They've staged the coup. The coup happened a while back, and now they're just playing in our faces. They just had to make the storyline seem like we did something. You know what I'm saying? We had to, we thought it was going to be Obama. Oh, we thought Clinton was going to do it. No, bro. They put 3 strikes, you're out. And during the 90s. They brought 3 strikes, you're out back to California. Under Democratic rule. Like, fam, y'all do understand. Like, it's about to get wicked. And it's not going to be it's about to be a bipartisan thing. Because guess what? Well, over 50% of the population agrees with this. So the only way that I can manage my platform is if I participate in all of these fucked up things that directly and negatively affects marginalized communities. And as long as a couple of anti-abortion bills get passed, and as long as a bunch of niggas get deported, the motherfuckers that were bigoted in the first place, that were doing this for the love of the game, are going to be happy. So disregard them. They're going to be geeked up. I'm going to be geeked up and broke. So, yeah. Enjoy your tariffs. I'm not going to enjoy them. Don't enjoy the tariffs. The tariffs are going to be bad. The tariffs are going to suck. I'm genuinely scared of what that's going to entail. I can't afford to live. And I couldn't afford to live during the Biden administration. I couldn't afford to live during the Trump administration. Actually, funny enough, I got the richest I ever been during the Trump administration because I decided to tap in the stock market and participate inside of the wealth transfer, ladies and gentlemen. I did nothing special. I went on the net, I found stocks, and I said, oh, this is how niggas is moving? Cool, I guess I'll buy it. And it worked. Broke now because inflation, but doesn't mean Trump was like good. It just meant he literally was taking money from the rich and taking money from the poor and then giving it to the rich because he's a part of the deep state, the same way Kamala's a part of the deep state. And until we start having a conversation about why the deep state is the problem and not little fucking Alex at his goddamn desktop computer talking about how women nowadays have it easy, and now that Trump's in office, hopefully he could ban OnlyFans so these motherfuckers have to go out and get an actual job. That nigga was gonna go online and state that shit regardless if Trump existed or not. He need to go get therapy. We got bigger fish to fry. Why the fuck are these niggas passing laws making it impossible for those niggas to get a book and read? Because that's what they need to do. Read. They need a book. They need to be... Oh, education, you're not going to be able to educate them, bro. They need to go out, touch grass, interact with other humans, and read. Who's passing laws stopping them from doing that? How did those laws get passed? It's on purpose, bro. Lock in, bro.